I just saw Echo. But what's good, everybody? Been a minute. We've been away for about a week and a half. I needed to learn some things. We had some shit going on. We're adults. The shit happened. We're gonna come up with an actual set schedule. We're working on that too. We're gonna be pretty much doing 10 weeks every season of the year. And then we'll have like 3 weeks to ourselves. But we're working out that, and we'll get that to you at a later time. But we missed you.
Indeed.
I actually enjoy doing it. It's a fun little thing. We get to talk to it. And today, I believe we decided we're going to continue with our Sparking Zero. And we'll probably continue with that through like January, because I'm thinking it's going to be it and Call of Duty are going to be two games that are real big.
Real quick, your voice is a little low. Since you step back.
How about now?
Say something.
You know what? Something.
Okay, that's better.
Like, I was like, I have the advantage. I can just turn the knob on my volume and, like, capture more of my voice, bitch.
Right.
But, yeah, we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero because it's a fun game. I don't care what all these whiny bitches online are saying.
I know, like, I've seen several, like, shorts online, saying, trying to tell people how to do things, or, some things are acceptable, like, defensive tactics and things, but, like, having trouble against Gradient Vegeta, like, yeah, it took me a couple tries, but I didn't struggle with it. It wasn't hard. Not once throughout my entire episode battle have I ever lowered the difficulty.
I think that battle took me like a total of 3 times, and the only reason I didn't get it on the second time is because I fucked around a little bit too much and found out. But like after the first one kind of took me by surprise, just because that initial blast, and like from there, if you don't recover quickly enough, it just goes downhill. But there's a simple solution. There's 2 actually. Move or block. It's not rocket science. Don't sit there and take the fucking hit.
That and you can keep your distance and fire from afar.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for that initial opening blast, because that's the same for everybody. And everybody's like, oh, I can't, like, because from there they can't recover their momentum.
Honestly, what a lot of people don't understand is that as soon as the battle starts, fly up into the air. Like, come on, guys. I've ripped so many of y'all in online battles for that very reason. And almost nobody expects you to just fly straight up and then go at them.
Yeah, it annoys me because, like, if I'm doing my rush, like, it doesn't adjust for that unless I adjust for it. Like, most of my attacks will adjust for that.
For what?
No worries. Fucking, but yeah. I'm seeing, like, a lot of just, like, oh, they need to nerf this, they need to nerf that. I can't, like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Ladies and gentlemen, I almost whooped Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's ass with Yamcha. The guy refused to rematch me after he realized the first time was a fluke. The second time he was like, whoa, Nelly. And then he started doing, like, then he was just like, no, like, it was, like, and, like, in our battles, like yesterday, I did a team of half useless characters and then 2 semi-decent characters. And for Brawly, I work my way up to actual decent characters.
I gotta say, before you get to Brawly's legendary form, I can hit Brawly. But once you get empowered, it gets a lot more difficult. I give you that. Your Brawly is pretty beast. And we're talking about Z Brawly, not Super Brawly.
I'm also thinking my Hercule's getting pretty good too nowadays.
He's annoying.
Love, like, it gets, like, all of it. Complete bullshit. Like, the vanishing, the flying. It's like, what? Mr. Satan can't do any of this shit.
It's scary to see Mr. Satan vanish. It's like
and like this,
can't even fly, and then he just dodges your blast. You're like,
The
damn.
instant you said that, and like no sooner had you said that though, had he vanished, and I was like, and I had played with him before. I had never made him vanish. Like, so I was just bewildered. I'm like, and like, it's sad, but you remember before Toriyama died, and they were like talking about him being on his deathbed, and he was just like, Mr. Satan was holding back. Like, that's my Mr. Satan. I'm Mr. Satan who's holding back.
Was that
Like,
the thing?
no, because like I think his death was kind of sudden. I do believe his death was a sudden thing. But like before he died,
I
there
never
was the
heard that.
running joke. Like
Okay.
everybody was like, "Hey guys, can y'all imagine when Toriyama's on his deathbed? If he just sat here and said Mr. Satan was holding back and then deuced out of the world."
Why they consider that to be that he was the one Beerus was talking about, telling Goku that there was someone stronger than him?
Yeah, it's like, well, actually, did you not watch the video I sent you? Where it was like there's 3 people stronger than like Beerus.
Yeah.
And it was like Wiz. No, it's like there's 3 people stronger than Goku, and it was like Wiz, fucking Beerus, and then it was Mr. Satan. And I was like, I could see, like, I would get a kick out of that just because, like, it would just be so wild. Like, ooh, like Mr. Satan is a wild like character to begin with. Like it kind of gives me Macho Man, Randy Savage vibes.
Right.
Like down to like I think that was what the voice actor went for because like whenever he's talking like a Macho Man promo.
Yeah.
Like and Mr. Satan's an interesting character in the story, but let's be
Why
real.
are you attacking me, dog?
He should not be throwing hands with either Brawly in any form. Goku in a transformed form, like. But like a lot, I'm serious. A lot of these people are complaining about skill-based issues. Like, they're being whiny babies. That oh well, I can't do that, so it shouldn't be that good. Well, maybe you should just get good. Is the problem. And like I get y'all don't like to hear that, but like all the complaints, I'm not hearing y'all complaining about these people doing this in casual. They're doing this in ranked, and that's why y'all are annoyed because y'all are taking L's in rank, and y'all think yourselves superior to every other player because you whooped your homie's ass 20 years ago in your bedroom. The world's a lot bigger than your circle of friends. Some of y'all
Indeed.
just weren't that good to begin with. Some of y'all, I'll bet, like, here's the biggest thing. Like, I had to drill it into T. Like, he was like, man, I'm just not getting, like, there were certain things in his settings he needed to check, and then he just needed to take the time to work on the mechanic.
Right.
Like, it wasn't anything wrong with the game. It's, like, a lot of y'all's mindsets is really, if I can't do it right away, it's not fun, or it shouldn't be in a game. Games are supposed to be challenging. Yeah, turn off your auto block first and foremost.
It makes vanishing and countering a lot easier.
Then, on top of that, practice. Go through the training. Like, that does a world of help. Like, sometimes I get it, the training doesn't explain shit near well enough. Like, even with the demos, like, some of the stuff is confusing. But if you go through, like, the basic defenses, your gameplay will improve exponentially. Because you at least know how to defend yourself. Like, y'all are talking about spamming characters. It doesn't matter if they can't do damage to you. Like, if you super count, like, oh, they caught me in a combo, like, I can't get out of this to counter their combo. I'm stuck on the defense. Learn to sidestep. Learn to super counter.
Revenge counter. That's probably the handy if they catch you in a rush combo. Still at that point, it's just skill if you can
Yeah,
temples after that.
Like, and if you can't, that's again on you. You're not as good as you thought. Like I've taken 3 L's in total. 2 of them were Yamcha, 1 was Beerus. I was very sad about that. But in the next match, I whooped the dude's ass, so I was cool about it. But like, even at the end of the day, you know what? It was a game. I had fun fighting with him. Even though he was a spammy Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like, well, actually, all my losses were to a spammy Super 4 Gogeta. And you know
Exactly.
what? I'm not saying, oh, he should be nerfed. I'm thinking, you know what? I made some key mistakes in there where I could have taken control of that and he wouldn't have been able to do a damn thing about it. Because they only know spam. I know spam and egg. I know all that in a bag of chips. I'm a chef in Sparking Zero. I cook. I cook a full on meal. I don't just give spam and eggs. Like, if I'm giving you spam and eggs, it's like spam and eggs Benedict. Spam and eggs in a basket. Like, there's some of the, like, you've seen the videos, they just like annoy me. And like, I've sent you some of the stuff I've seen in the groups of people complaining and whining about stuff. Like, these people and their super counters. How come I can't do it? This shouldn't be in the game.
So back to the auto block. If you have the auto block on, it would make it a lot harder to super counter because it, as Jim had put it to me,
It prioritizes the block over anything.
prioritizes the block.
So if you're blocking, you're already blocking by the time the strike hits, you can't actually technically hit the button as it hits. So that mechanic works against you if you're trying to be serious about playing against other people and putting like, yeah, it saves you if you suck at blocking or remembering to block. But if you suck at blocking or remembering to block, none of the defensive moves are going to help you anyway because you suck at it.
Well, in my case, I have the dual sense edge, so I got the back buttons, and I have those as the perception and block. So that's what I did, and it helps. And sometimes I still do hit R1 for the other block, but
Like, I don't have any fancy shit. I just have hands, and they're rated E for everyone. Like, and like, I will not complain if anybody wants to use a spammy character. You want to know why? Good enough to handle a spammy character. Shit, sometimes I may take that L, but you know what? I'm gonna make them scared for their life that they don't know how to play the game. They'll get by on the skin of their teeth.
but I have noticed, experienced it, and also seen a lot of people seem to be rage quitting.
I haven't had that problem. Everybody's been pretty much honorable with me.
I've had two people rage quit on me, and I just not even because I was doing any nonsense. I was just teasing them.
Like, I don't see any point in rage quitting. Like, the way like, everybody should really consider this concept, especially given the game that we're discussing. Saiyans fight, they win some, they lose some, but they come back stronger. Take that L, learn from that L. Don't let that shit happen again. Sometimes there's just going to be people playing out flat better than you. Like, actually, there was this one cat. Like, my biggest, like, I understood where he was coming from if people were just doing this stuff in casual. You have some, like, he's like, you have people wanting to come home from work and play a couple of ranked rounds and relax. That's your problem. If you go into ranked in any game, you are saying that you want the smoke. You are not asking, let's have a friendly sparring match. Like, your objective in there is to make sure that you walk out with that W. Like, yeah, some people do it really cheaply. It sucks. But that's life. Like, you can't control how other people are going to play, and not everybody that's good with the mechanics is cheating. They're just better than you, again. Like, put some practice in. Like, I've logged some, like, 40 hours into this game. Like, have, like, I think at this point in time, like, a 55 win percent rate. Like I said, I've taken 3 L's out of, like, 7 matches. Like, I don't see all this, like, I've had a lot of fun and honorable matches throughout the entirety of the game. I also urge you just to play the game for the sake of playing the fucking game. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of y'all are complaining, and I'm gonna keep saying it. It's a fucking skill issue with your toxic axes. Just because you lose does not mean the game's broken. Doesn't mean a character's broken. Doesn't mean anything's broken. Some of y'all just didn't play through training. Y'all didn't play any of the other game modes. Y'all just sat here and went up into the multiplayer and thought y'all were gonna rule people's asses. I played through, like, I've completed, like, to full completion, like, 2 of the stories already. Like, I have completed all the bonus missions, even though one of them really frustrated the hell out of me. I really just wanted to throw, like, my whole gaming setup away. But I went through, did a bunch of other stuff. I got better, and you know what? I went back and ruled that mission's ass. And I was like, no, it's my time to shine. Like,
it was indeed a difficult mission. I got frustrated with it too.
Like, but like, you understand what I mean by if you just go through and do the episodes, you do those bonus battles. Like, in the process of going through a lot of these difficult things, you will improve slightly with each battle.
Right.
Like, especially in, like, the starting the what if cycles for the episodes, and a lot of the bonus battles, they make you work for it.
Yeah, there's a few of those what if conditions that are pretty difficult to get.
Actually, I read that some, like, because they, like, apparently there's a couple that I've tried to do repeatedly that I'm not failing at. Apparently, it's just they're speculating that it's not releasing until future DLC.
Well, that's
Like,
weird.
well, because actually, not completely. Like, because 2 of the ones are for Gohan and Piccolo. Now, the first DLC is supposed to be for Dragon Ball Superhero, the movie, right? So that's where you get them doing the Beast and Orange Piccolo. So if that's where those other missions are, it makes sense. Okay, I can feel that. But it really does depend on if that's the case or if the game's just buggy at that point.
Well, the one I was doing with Piccolo at the very end, you're supposed to beat 17 and Cell, but I've read online, and a lot of people seem to think that it's bugged. Some people have completed it, I think, but you just have to beat both of them, I think. And every time I get 17 down, it's just that amount. So comes in, and then it just gives me the regular, ending.
Yeah.
And it gets frustrating because I really try to rail on 17, and then it just switches up, and it's like, no matter how fast I do it, it's like, well, am I still not doing it fast enough, or what's the deal here?
Yeah, there's a couple of, like I said, there's a lot of them that are challenging, and like some of them may be bugged, and like from what I read, some of them might be locked behind DLC, and that's the whole thing. But I think if that's the case, they should be more more informative of that. Like, yeah, you can beat the clear condition now, but like at the end of the day, you're still not gonna go through and you won't have access to the other shit until the DLC comes and you purchase it. You don't have it behind the season pass.
I don't think you're not so innocent.
That's one of the big things about, like, I really wish the game wasn't so ambiguous in certain areas. That's my real only complaint. There's certain areas where they can explain shit a lot better, and I feel they did it.
Yeah. Because there was definitely, I can't think of them right offhand, but there was a couple of the training missions that were hard to understand. Eventually, I got it. But
Yeah, like there's a couple that are annoying for me too, still, because I've gone through the thing of I'm gonna go and clear them all out.
right.
And
And
like,
another thing that I have found irritating is that sometimes the game doesn't acknowledge the specific commands that I'm trying to make. Like, for example, if you were to Z-dash to your opponent, you would strike them and then try to do a blast. So, a lot of times you would either keep striking or throw some key blast, and then it would waste your key, and then by that time you could actually do it to follow the command, you no longer have the key to do it.
I read that that was an issue with the people that went with the classic control, and I also read that that was one of the fixes in the patch the very first patch they did. But here's the thing: I've been having that, and I've been playing with the upgraded.
Yeah, I don't use classic.
Like, so it is somewhat of efficient, like, but at the same time, I think there's certain times where it also might be we're overzealous and like we tap R2, and by the time we tap R2, we've released it and hits like something's not hitting at the right time. Is what I'm sometimes I feel like, but there are some times where it's clearly just like motherfucker, like I'm just standing there and I'm like, bro, throw the blast I want you to throw. Like, do your ultimate. Like, he's right there flying away. Stop just staring at him.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, like there are, I feel there's some latency issues with inputs from the control at times.
Right.
But I think that also might be just because, like, the mass amount of inputs that go into this game. Like, it's seems like button mashing, but the combos make sense. But it's a lot of rapid pressing.
Yeah.
Like, so if you sit here and do more than what the combo calls for, it might throw off what it, like, and there's a lot of variables for why that might be, but I do think it's a latent.
Probably.
Like, all these inputs are coming in, and, like, just the controller's just so fucking confused. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether I'm winning, losing. I don't know if I'm fucking my owner over or not. But there's a lot. Go ahead. No.
Some of the animations are just a little too long, especially with the glass animations. Like I can't recall. Well, okay, like Namek Super Saiyan Goku, whenever he plays that Envy Kamehameha, he has that whole animation where his shoulders drop and he's just like time exhausted for a couple seconds, and then he picks himself back up and goes into a fight stance. Like that animation takes way too long. Like
I wouldn't mind that. Like, I wouldn't mind it, like, if it was able to be sped up, or, like, both, like, the person using the ability has the ability to speed it up. But if not, I feel if they don't speed it up, I feel the other person should have there should be an instance of them to be able, like, they should be able to vanish in the middle of the animation. Like, at that point, if somebody wants to, like, it should be optional for it to cut that long for the person. And I don't think animations should go for both. Like, it should be, if I want to not see the animation for you doing something, I should not have to be put up with that animation. It should go back to how Tenkaichi, when we were on split screen, I didn't sit here, just because you were doing the animation for a power-up, it had no hindrance on what the fuck I was doing.
Right.
Like, I could be hitting you in the middle of the power-up for all it cares. Like, you'll throw me back after you achieve the power-up, but I could do some minuscule damage in the middle of that.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, I think the game got fucking, like, the game took too much of Goku's input and not enough 17. Why are we letting these fuckers transform? Like, it goes back to when 17 started to interfere with the transformation, and everybody, including his own team, was like, dude, that's rude. Like, and he's just like, it just makes sense to. Why would you? Okay, I get if we get erased, this is on y'all, not on me. Like, I feel your frustration with the animation. They're a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a little unnecessary. And also, if I'm trying to swap a character or transform or do something, to the point of what Jim was just saying, his action should not cancel my action. So that's what happens. Like, I'll be trying to transform, he'll throw a blast at me, and it cancels what I was doing, and then I'm left wondering, what just happened? I'm supposed to have transformed, or I was supposed to have swapped the character.
This isn't who was supposed to take that hit.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, like, that is a very frustrating, like, I wouldn't say very frustrating, but my thing is, it kind of does fuck with the flow of combat at times. Like, it takes you out of the mood, Like, you're so you're so involved in the combat, and then that one animation, it's just like, wait, what was I about to do? Like, it breaks.
If we're combat.
yeah, like it changes the flow of the entire battle. If we're going into like Keegan Ashura terms, it just throws the flow all out of whack.
Right, because Tenkaichi 3, I don't think any of the Tenkaichis really had that issue.
Well, yeah, because like also like I was able to transform and then instantly go into one of my Blast 2s or Ultimates a lot more smoother than with this. Like, mind you, there's a lot of people that complain about certain things not being like the transition between blasts and the combos being not smooth enough. I have to disagree. You just need like the timing is crucial. Is really what it comes down.
Well, I actually agree with that. That is an issue because in three, you can get somebody in the combo and then throw a blast at them. In this one, it's a lot harder to get that blast out before you have a chance to recover or counterattack.
Yeah, but like that's why I say it's really a time. Like it really does come down to timing and knowing your character's speedy. Because like I can even go from my gigantic hammer with Broly and send you flying and instantaneously hit you with the eraser cannon. Like I could just backhand you with Broly and then instantly hit you with the like. I've got the timing down for Broly because like there's if you try to do it too soon, like I said, the latency issue. I think it gets chalked up into the combo or whatever. But if you wait like a frame or two, like the first frame that after you knock them out is your prime time to do it. Like with the exception of rushes, it has a high success rate. Like with rushes, generally by the time I get to I'm moving a lot slower than the energy I'm throwing. So by that time, you can generally recover. Like, or not even recover. You vanish to recover as I'm coming to you, which is really fucking annoying.
The other thing that gets annoying is that you'll throw a blast at me and I'm trying to vanish, and I'll block it and then vanish. Like, how does that even make sense? If I don't need to vanish then, I needed to vanish to forward hit.
I didn't want to take that minuscule damage from blocking, damn it. And now you wasted my shit with the vanish? I could see where that would be frustrating. But like at that point in time, like I said, some of these issues for online purposes, I think they gave us as complete as the game they could give. It was like when we started the podcast back in like a month ago. Like we had talked about what it was going to be for so long. We already knew like we couldn't do anything and refine it until we had done it. Like at that point, we needed to learn as like there's certain things that you can only learn on show. Now, on the other end of that, the story episode and the bonus battle, there should have been nothing broken in them. It's like there should like all of that should have been smooth from day one. Like I'm not saying that there was anything broken with them.
The conversations were not. They were a little strange in how they worded things in one of the bonus battles. Maybe it was a translation issue. I'm not sure, but
I think for that, like a lot of it does come down to sometimes translation, but also because a lot of the bonus battles were additional what ifs. So like,
I was kind of disappointed about versus 2003. 2003 had oodles of in-game content. Bonus battles. So far, I guess we'll probably get some in later DLC, but
well, like my hope would be
some of the bonus battles. It just wasn't enough. Like we went through this pretty quick.
Yeah, like that was like I was actually expecting for more shit to be unlocked, especially because like the final tier only has like 3 things.
Yeah,
but like I don't want them to lock more shit like that behind DLC. Like that, I think is a bit unfair. I think yes, there should be shit that is DLC, but I do think they should steady add to the game as is for the broke individuals out there that not even broke. I don't want to say broke. I say broke because like sometimes I'm broke and I don't want to get like shiny shit that I would really like, but I know better.
we need to go back to the days to where, yes, for like what PS3 days, I don't know if there was really DLC in the PS2 era, aside from, like, I don't know. I really
There was
wouldn't.
like only like 2 to 3 games. There wasn't many games that were online in the PS2 era. Like the first one I can even remember was like Final Fantasy 11. Like, and that's the only one that ever comes to mind. I'm sure there was probably a couple of other ones. I just don't know what they were. Damn.
What was I talking about?
I was like sitting here trying to recall where we were. Going back into the good old, like, I do like how we think that there should be the balance between DLC and grind.
Right, yeah. So I think we need to go back to the days to where, aside from DLC, everything that everything should be unlockable through game content. Like, the whole mobile game era, in my opinion, has ruined, has started the process of where we're at now because everything gets locked behind paywalls. And I'm not going to spend money for everything like that. I don't do it for mobile games. I'm not going to do it for console games.
I think that it's
Occasionally,
a reason. Like, there's within reason, there's shit that we should, like, cosmetics, absolutely. But a character that's just omni powerful, oh, you have to pay for that? That's bullshit. It should also be earnable. I get certain times certain people don't have the time to work through and grind to unlock certain shit. And at that point, yes, have it unlocked. But, or have it pay, yeah, have it payable. But at that point, also have to where the people that enjoy the thrill of the hunt, that enjoy the grind, can unlock it through merit rather than monetary value. Like, that's a bit like, I don't mind paying for skins that might be cool because they have no fucking bearing on anything in the game than I look for. But when it's stuff that tilts the favor into somebody just because they have money, I think that's fucking.
yeah.
Like, I don't believe in pay to win scenario. That is the biggest. Like, you're right. Mobile games, absolutely. I won't say, like, I'll agree with you. They haven't completely ruined it because there are a lot of games out there that don't hide all. Like, don't get me wrong. There's expansions, but there's not. Oh, improve your odds or make this game easier for you if you want to pay a little money.
Yeah, and I'm going to say I hate the entire justice system. In most cases, I believe is rigged, and something else needs to be done. Like I don't need 15 different variations of the same character.
Yeah, actually, like, I get why we did that for Dragon Ball Z, but I think they could have organized it better. Like, they could have put,
a lot better.
like, they could have done Goku, like Goku as a character, and then you click on him and you go into all the fucking Goku. Vegeta as a character, then you click on him, you go into all the Vegeta. Like,
Right.
180 fucking characters is a lot of characters.
Just variations.
Yeah, it's like the.
So really, you don't have 180 different characters. It's probably not even half of that.
Well, for certain of the characters, it legitimately makes sense because, like, a lot of them, there are the ones that their variations all have different movesets. But Goku and Vegeta, like, the dozen of each of them, 8 of them all have the same fucking attack. Like, it's just you look different, and the attack might have a wee bit more weight to it. Like, get off Goku and Vegeta's dicks.
Yeah, give me Super Saiyan Bardock already.
Give me Super Saiyan. Give me Super 17, you cocksuckers, and King Vegeta.
Yes, and the
yeah.
That was like the greatest thing about King Vegeta.
It was because it was so ridiculous, but it was so fucking fun. Like, but at that point, I would like if they do bring him in, I would rather it like you know how certain people have special grabs and shit with each other.
Yeah,
Beerus and him and have a special grab where Beerus just throws him to the ground and just has his head on his foot,
right.
like Vegeta saw him all those years ago.
Yeah.
You should be used to this, King Vegeta. Like, I do like some of the custom throws and finishes, though. There's a lot of interesting stuff that I still have yet to hear. Like, but like I said, like most of like there's not really a lot of negative that I can contribute to the game or development or like, oh, it came out to like the game's been out like 3 weeks. Some of y'all just need more practice. That's really what it is. Give it time. You'll
need
get
more
better.
practice.
Yeah, you do.
I've been pretty hard on myself because I feel like I should be a lot better, but I'm getting there.
It's just like I explained to you what your problem is. Like if you overcome that it's bullshit mentality when stuff starts going wrong, like your gameplay will infinitely like because I know you, as in we've played this game together before, and you know what the best way to keep you on a losing streak was to talk shit while we were winning. Because once stuff starts going wrong, you wind yourself up, and you're not calm and relaxed and thinking about the fight. You're just thinking about all the things not going your way in that moment. Like that's your fatal flaw in gaming against other people. Like overcome that. Like you may even one day rival me in Tekken. Put it that way.
I've never got a good grasp of the whole button combos, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken.
Well, Tekken actually is the most simplest. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the reason I like Tekken as a fighting game is each button responds to a limb. It doesn't get like the
those games. Even Guilty Gear, that was one of my favorites. But it's just the different the way the joystick to get certain directions to throw off a button combo. Like I struggle with the precision, I guess.
see with that, it's not like again with Tekken. Like, I don't have that issue because it's not a bunch of. It's not like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Yeah, like if it's a button, like it's down diagonal, you can just press left and right, or down and right, and that counts as the input. Like it's not quarter circle, it's direction. Like that's why Tekken for me was always like. Don't get me wrong, I could throw down in Mortal Kombat, but I like Tekken because there's like it is hand. It is not special powers and shit. It's not quarter circle, sonic boom, or fucking or a fucking bicycle kick. Like there's a lot of like
not because you're short.
I think other games are a lot more convoluted than Tekken, and like even Sparking Zero has some of those complex like you have to do this weird shit to do like and like as far as fighting games, I think Tekken by far is like the most user friendly, and like if you do the like again, it's one of those if you do the work, it doesn't matter. Like in Tekken, it does not matter who your character is. Like in Tekken, it is who's got the better strategy at the moment. Like any character could be any character relatively with no real big advantage in one way or another.
Right, like, the game is balanced for any character to beat any character if you have the skill.
Well, I argue that Sparking Zero is, but like that's just like at that point I'm just touting my skill at that point. Fucking Cyberman and Mr. Satan, bitch.
Well, supposedly Sparking Zero is supposed to be unbalanced, and it is in a lot of ways.
No, it's scaled. It's scaled. I wouldn't say it's unbalanced because like like as far as the mechanics go, everything's balanced. It's just certain people are stronger and faster than other people, and I can and have more health than other people. But through items, you can curb though. Like my Cyberman should have died. Like my Cyberman was the deciding factor of your team. Like all but one of your team one time. My Cyberman should not have lived that fucking long.
Yeah. But to the weapon equipment, I think Team Dynasty 3 had a better equipment system than what we have right now.
I wouldn't say it had a better one. I would say it had more beneficial.
Exactly.
Like,
well, a lot of the wording and a lot of the skills doesn't fully explain. And on top of that, like, don't care about half the stuff that they offer because don't need it.
Yeah,
You know,
but
what I care about was I'm some health, this my gas and ultimate, and maybe gives me an edge in a couple of other areas, and I'm fine. But like going back to 2003, like you have the ability to boost, like you. It's been a while since I've looked at
well,
it,
no,
but
no, no. I can help you here, bro. Like in Kaiichi 2, we would have melee plus whatever, and like actually we would have our stats on the like very similar to how we have this weird graphic for the
yeah,
stats in this one. Instead of
yeah,
that, we had bars,
right,
and then it would tell us how that item affected that in bars, rather than just giving us it does this and it boosts this much. Like okay, well, like previously it told me pretty much what my attack was, what my health was, what this increased my movement speed, this increased my melee speed. Like it
right,
was more precise in what we were getting power ups to. And I'll agree that some of these do seem like some of them seem useless, but like I would wager that a lot of them seem useless just due to the characters that we use. In certain
probably.
characters, a lot of the characters would probably benefit a bit more from certain situations. And then like there are the ones that are kind of just situational. Like I think that the power of Namek, the power of Earth, the power of the universe are all fucking useless.
It feels like the power of man that gives the best.
Well, no, no. The problem with it is it only gives it on fucking Namek.
Yeah, but I
Like,
know,
but like,
but
if
out
I
of the
like,
three, it does the biggest death.
but it like here's the problem with that. I can never tell. Like, I can't guarantee I'm gonna fight on them.
But
I can't guarantee where I'm gonna fight in a ranked match. Like that's just where the cookie crumbles.
right,
Like so that like why am I gonna have the one thing taking up a slot that's only situational when I can actually have something that's always used.
right.
But yeah, Sparking Zero is
And
definitely gonna have a lot of like I'm excited to see what comes forward from like but one like the big final message that I need to have on Sparking Zero is fans really need to shut their fucking mouth and start learning how to play. Enjoy the fucking game. Some of y'all are out here whining, oh, I suck. Like that's what I hear every time I hear you whining about somebody doing something or anytime I hear that something needs to be nerfed.
the only thing that I've really heard that got nerfed was Yajirobe. Now,
No,
I
no,
didn't
no.
even consider looking at the character, so I didn't even know what his moveset was. But I guess he has a super beam, and it allows you to fully restore your life. And it feels like it has a quick animation speed. So, like, you could get blasted, and then the person's coming right next to you, like, oh shit, super beam, you're back at full health.
Yeah, like that one, okay, I can see them getting nerfed, but they're talking about nerfing like all the skill-based mechanics just because they can't do it, and that's where I'm saying these people need to grow up and get over it.
Well, I gotta say that the learning the data tools can be challenging, but it's not impossible. It's not difficult.
There's
Being a
and
super counter is all about timing. I'm still struggling with it, but I'm faced with the issue with the super counter that I keep hitting it too soon, and that's what we have to learn is you have to pull it back right as you're getting hit, not before. And I keep hitting it right before, and that's what messes me up. Sometimes I pull it off pretty badass and whatever, but
yeah, but like
it's not impossible.
yeah, it's one of like and most importantly, there's plenty of tutorials out there in the world. Like there are people that want people to be good at this game. There are people that are trying to help the community. Some of the people that I think are the least toxic, just great people that just take the time to sit here and show you in the game how to do various stuff. Some of them even have their like their controller and the inputs put in and how to do it and the timing. Like there are things in the frame while you're being attacked that give you clues onto when to do something.
I
And
still haven't seen any of those that I've acknowledged.
you must calm your mind, my friend, and take in all of the battle.
That's another thing. The camera angle and the characters, it was just a smidge too close. We back that shit up just a little bit. Especially for giant characters, when the other person gets right up on you, you can't see shit.
It is really inconvenient. The Force, though, is with me with my super counter. But actually, I think we should move. Like, since we're talking about we're in the gaming area, I'm thinking we should talk about them giving us. We both displayed issues earlier this week about the gaming industry and the companies that are financing game developers, and I'll even say part of it is impatient fans,
Yeah.
leading to them giving us broken games rather than saying, "Hey guys, we need to be able to like." There are so many games I think that if they had taken a few more months, would have been better from the get go.
Yeah. One game I think I can point out in that regard was Callisto Protocol. Great game. It just released at the wrong time because everybody was waiting for the Dead Space remake. Both were great games. Loved them. But because of how Callisto Protocol was received, we're probably not going to get the sequel that we were supposed to.
Well, see, like that's I'm talking more of like Avengers, where they just released a completely buggy ass game at launch, or Cyberpunk, where nobody could fucking play the game because it kept on crashing shit.
I heard about that. Fallout 76 struggled as well for a long time.
Yeah, like these are the ones I'm talking. Like Fallout 76, I feel part of that probably went to they were used to making. The studio was used to making steady fucking single player games. So when they went to MMORPG, it wasn't as easy as doing it for like Elder Scrolls due to all the various stuff in Fallout, you know? Like, I felt that I think they tried to go with a kind of copy paste kind of mentality, and then like the 76, that's why it was to a buggy launch. But yeah, that was a buggy issue.
I did finally try playing Fallout 76 with you and one other friend, and it was alright. I would prefer to play Fallout 4, but the biggest issue I have with Fallout 76 is the leveling system. My weapons should not be level locked like that. If it requires a certain level before I can find it, that's one thing. But to be level locked, like plasma weapons, from what
Yeah,
I've seen, only go up to level 45. Okay, a lot of people, apparently there's a big meta in Fallout 76. I'm not interested in metas the vast majority of the time. I'm going to play how I want to play at my rate and have fun. But because of the meta situation, it's a lot harder because, I'm getting the higher levels, but I don't have the resources or equipment necessarily yet. It's finding the higher monsters, it becomes a chore.
yeah,
And
like
I'm not trying to work on a game, like there's a difference between fun and just, you try to play to have fun and then you're just starting to feel like it's all right, but I'm just not having as much fun as I was on this other game that's.
yeah, like like I don't mind grinding in a game, but you can't make it feel like work. Like I'm playing a video game to forget about the real world. Don't make me do real world work in a fucking game.
Yeah, and Diablo is doing some shit like that too. So need to stop struggling with the lack of loot, although some people get luckier than others.
Yeah, I was like I can't relate, man. Like
And
the gods be good to me.
the whole thing with the new season thing, to get you can use it until what is it, the person or whatever it is, increases your equipment drop rate. That's cool, but when I'm currently getting like 1, 2 items to drop a boss even at times only drops a couple of things. Like
No, like
I
I'm with
understand
you.
that they reduce the amount of trash that people are finding, but at the same time, like, I'm struggling to find equipment that I can use. Like, the shit that I do find is worthless to me. You know, I'm at the point to where I need ancestral legendaries, and yeah, okay, I get it. They're supposed to be rare and legendary, which is fine. But when I'm already finding it hard to get loot, it's even harder to get the ancestrals to drop for me, and that takes the fun out of it. Another thing that is really bugging me is I have one character that has up to 16k attack power, and I can't clear the 13 or 35 pit, but my stupid necromancer with half of that power can do it, and everybody saying, oh, Spirit Born is OP. I'm not saying that, but then again, also, I'm not into meta. I do understand not every build is going to work. However, I should still be able to do most of the things I want to do with the build that I want to play.
I can see the OP statement from a point of view, but at the same, like, yeah, it has a high attack power and rate. But what people really like, and this is where the issue of why, like, they're pretty much fucking paper. My biggest adjustment from the Spiritborn from my druid is I can't take a hit. Like, I can't take a like I can take one hit maybe. Anything after that, it's like at that point in time, I'm Scotty. Like, she can't take no more, Captain. Get out of there.
I will say that the new update, the new season, and all that, how the resistance and armor, it actually feels like it makes a difference now. Like, whenever I get my armor maxed out, my resistance maxed out, I can actually tell the difference versus not having it maxed. And I like that, because before that, it didn't feel like it mattered, because, you know, you still get one shot by shit. You know, I have max armor rating, max resistance. How are you one-shotting me? You know, that should not be a thing. I can understand if it takes like 99% of your health, that you should not be one-shot if you're max resistance and max armor.
Yeah. Well, no, like, it also does depend on which game mode you're in, what you're doing. Like, I'm sorry, there's certain things that you should just know better than to be hit by. Like, there's certain things that I look at and I'm like, ooh, I can't let that hit me. Like, I'm dead if that hits me. Like, because there are those, like, it's not like any attack can do it. There's generally very specific ones from specific sub bosses and bosses. And, like, at that point, like, I try to move my ass. Like, I get, like, there's, like, but, like, just anything, just willy nilly walking in, like, a normal open area probably shouldn't be one shot. Like, certain things, it makes sense because of the scale of the, like, you gotta stack it to where there are stays. And, like, this is also why we don't play in hardcore right now.
Well, the biggest reason why I don't play hardcore is I heard so many times where people would get disconnected and it would kill their character. And Blizzard won't help you because it strictly says hardcore characters die a permanent death. However, I think if you get disconnected and your character dies, that is some harass shit.
Yeah.
And even if you can't get the character back, you should get some type of compensation because that death wasn't even on you.
Well, sometimes it is.
Well, if it's a server disconnect, you know, that's yes. And then they should take that away.
No. They should, because people were sitting here and about to die because they went to somewhere where they were going to die, and to avoid losing their character, they would just quit.
Yeah, because that was the tactic you used in Diablo 2 as well.
It's a bullshit tactic.
The
Yes,
game
it is.
is.
You knew the game was dangerous when you played it. Like,
yeah, well, regardless,
it's not very hardcore for you to quit just because you're losing.
The time takes 2 seconds long. That animation takes 2 seconds long by about 3 seconds.
Hey,
But it's a race for 3 seconds. And they did that specifically because people were able to teleport to town before shit could kill them in hardcore.
okay, no. But that's why you run away. Run your ass.
But that's why, like, some enemies, they would chase you, like teleporters, and they
Run to a safe area. Run to a safe area. We have horses. Like there's like, yeah, but we. But that's my point. Back in the day, like even at that, like that's tantamount to being in an online match and just rage quitting because you're getting your ass. I don't condone rage quitting. Like there's too many people that like sit here and work themselves up into high positions due to exploiting the system. Like, and that's not like it shouldn't like that's not fair to the people that sit here and do hardcore shit and do it in a hardcore way.
I mean, people are constantly breaking Diablo. That's why they keep going and breaking shit.
Yeah, but it's called hardcore for a reason. You know what you're signing up for. Permadeath upon death. Quitting just to avoid a death is a bitch.
When it comes to Diablo 2 and 3, you didn't have to worry about server disconnect.
But like that's what I was going to get on. Now, if it is a Blizzard issue of the server shutting down on somebody while they're in the middle of gameplay, that's a completely different thing. But you can tell, like, I'm pretty sure they can figure out who turns off their system, and or better yet, who just quit to shut down the game.
Well, there is a way to disconnect you from the internet without them being able to tell if it was their problem or not.
I'm assuming it's probably not just some easy willy-nilly thing to do.
It is easy. You go to your network settings and detect internet connection.
Yeah, like that. But like again, that goes to why they're doing the like. You like people, they're not stupid. That's why they're doing it, like because people are using it to exploit the game. They want to sit here and say, "Oh, I have this hardcore character," but they don't want to tell people that they fucking rage quit several times to keep it alive. Like I don't know, it's a skill issue. Like you know how I feel about people like complaining about stuff that really seems like it's their fault. If you can't play on Torment 4 with a hardcore character, that's on you. You know, like, when you're in the harder difficulties and you pick a hardcore character, you know the fucking risk. You know the game's gonna throw some bullshit at you at some point in time. Hell, it'll throw the butcher at you. You know what you shouldn't do with the game? You saddle up or you flee to a safe area where you can get to safety. Now we have horses. We have all these things. Now we have fucking mercenaries.
Well, who can't see you from the butcher?
My mercenaries can.
Well,
and if not,
I don't even think I've encountered him this season.
Apparently, right now there's an event going on for Halloween where he's supposed to be more predominant.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 different versions of the butcher right now.
I don't know. I just throw ungodly amounts of lightning around now. But Diablo has been doing a nice progression. I do like the upgraded story and all that. There's been a lot of interesting fixes and improvements, and it's one of those games that I feel is going to continue to improve. They are listening to actual stuff that's to improve the game, other than people whining that they rage quit and the game probably called them on. Like, hey, or like they didn't rage quit, they forgot to pay their internet bill. Again, that's on them. But yeah, I think we did pretty solid. Like we've hit some shit. Like this is gonna be one of those Insta postings. Like what, 5 now almost?
4:37.
Yeah. Probably have this up by 8. Then if nothing else, we'll probably record another episode for tomorrow for Halloween, just to do a special edition. Like, or we'll probably experiment with the live feature. I'm kind of curious about that.
Okay.
So people will be live on YouTube on Halloween.
So stay tuned.
Aside from that, I think we had a pretty good session for the day. You got anything else to add?
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Alrighty then. Stay tuned. We'll see you again, tomorrow, and then after that, Sunday. Till then, love, peace, and chicken greens. Thank y'all for bearing with us. We'll see you again soon. Much love. And I almost grabbed the mouse again. Deuces, y'all.
See y'all next time.